Let's give everybody a moment or two, let everybody join in. We got an exciting project to unravel today. It really looks interesting. I can't wait to dive into it. So just give it a couple of moments and everybody will join in and we'll dive into it. Thanks everybody for coming in.
I'm doing a little mic check myself as well. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, buddy. Thank you for coming. How you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing great. Looking forward to present the project and speak to you guys. Just as a short introduction to myself as well. My name is Phil, and I'm a representative of the project today.
Oh,
So I
just,
hope.
just give 1 second before you dive into it. 1 second. I know you're probably excited to get into it, but I want to wait to the top of the hour, and then I have a little opening statement I want to kind of introduce because I did a lot of research on your guys' project, uh, and I'm really excited to dive into it because I kind of love casinos in the real world, and I love betting and playing like casino like stuff on my apps on my phone. So I love betting in casino apps on the blockchain. So and you guys are definitely looking at some unique aspects to earn. So before we dive into it, though, it's now the top of the hour. Let me just give my little opening statement that I have prepared for you guys. So hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we have an exciting opportunity to dive into the project that's redefining the way we engage with casino and cryptocurrency. I'm thrilled to introduce Casino DAO, a groundbreaking venture that combines the power of NFTs with real-world online gaming. Right? With their innovative approach, they're not just offering a chance to play, but a chance to own a piece of the action. Let you kind of be a stakeholder to the casino through the utilities that they've built. And so, without further ado, thank you and welcome for coming. And like you're saying, go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit about how you've built Casino DAO, or maybe how you built a team behind such a nice project. And I do implore everybody as we're starting to jump into their website, jump into their socials, follow along as we're explaining it because it's a plethora of information and you don't want to miss out because this is really cool, unique aspects on how any level of investor can earn from somebody that just wants to hold to earn or someone that wants to hold to earn and have daily play. So I definitely love it. I want to jump into it. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you very much for that little introduction. And thanks for having me today. Just one more question before I kick it off. How may I call you during today's AMA?
My name is Manuel. My name is Manuel. So you can call me that, or you can just call me crypto miners. Either way you look at it. But yeah, my name is Manuel.
Manuel is good because that's how my brother is called. And I want to say hi from my side. I'm Phil. I'm located in Europe. Just as a little introduction to myself and what I do. I've been in the space since around 2017. Fell in love with Bitcoin, didn't care much about anything else, did some dollar cost average, and when 2020, 2021, everything went crazy, I decided to give it a shot and go full time into the space. Since then, I'm working for projects, I'm doing presentations, representative jobs. I'm also part of the biggest incubator and accelerator in South Asia. We take care of Casino DAO. So you're speaking to a representative today. I hope that I can answer all the questions that you guys have in a perfect manner. Talking about the team and also the reason why I'm here, the team is mostly in the Asian market. They are local on the Asian continent, and sometimes they struggle a little bit with their English. They are very busy at the same time, going from live event to live event. Like currently, they are with a colleague of mine at the live event in Malaysia, promoting also the project, networking, expanding the brand. And that's why I'm representing them today here in this Twitter Spaces. The team is rather big, so you have around 50 people involved in that project. Obviously, not everybody of them is full-time. Obviously, you have moderators, social media managers, people that support the project, but there is quite a big core team. And something that made it very unique for myself in terms of their core team, and this is something that one of the core team members told me today, is that they actually not only have the business on the online side, but also in the offline world. So they are already in the casino industry, having existing infrastructure, and now they're kind of building on top with the online and with the Web3 side of things. I think that's basically the information that you guys need on the team. So it's rather a big team. We can also go over advisors in the later duration of this AMA. They have quite of a big advisor board as well. So in terms of manpower and in terms of knowledge, they have a very solid foundation. And like I said before, I always, and this is something, Manuel, that you might not know about myself, I'm sometimes in your shoes doing interviews in my community with projects. And from the way that they told me about their project when we had our pre-discussion to this AMA, I was very excited for this one. Because in the past, I always said, if it's ever allowed to have a casino in Austria, that would be my one and only business that I would do. The house always wins. And now I have the chance to be part of a casino without even actually having to run the business, profit from the business itself. So that's basically it on my role, the team, and also a little teaser already on where we are going.
Right, right. I do appreciate that transparency. You know, from because a lot of people get confused. Is in this situation, and like, and God forbid anything does happen, but like something goes wrong, the person speaking, the PR is always the first one blamed. And so and I've been in that position too. And it's like, hey, like we're all just working in this space. But when you have a really solid team and you have a really good development roadmap, and you guys are knocking stuff out, it feels good to be that representative, because this is allowing the CEO, the CTO, and all of them to actually work and do the stuff they need to do behind to deliver awesome product. If they were constantly having to do their own PR and constantly having to be in the AMAs or Twitter spaces, they wouldn't actually be able to get the work done that they need in the background. So definitely agree with everything they're doing. I love the structure. You were saying it's a big core team, but they're all doing what they got to do to deliver a great project, or great product per se. And they're coming from the real world casinos, and I think that's a big touch right now that is missing, is the actual business class of the real world and casinos in the real world, but actually being able to scale them onto the blockchain appropriately. I think it's the other way around right now, as where a lot of blockchain companies are trying to bring in, casinos and betting. So going the other route is actually smarter, because you understand the intricacies of running a successful, betting or casino program. Bringing it to the Web3 is, I think a smart choice, and it's an easy an easy transition, long as you guys do do the proper due diligence and security, I would say, because you're not only messing with real world fiat money, kind of aspect, when people want to cash out, and security reasons for being on a Web2 computer, but you're also on the blockchain. So it's definitely, it's security risky, I would say. But from what I see, you guys are definitely doing everything. You guys are crossing your T's and dotting your I's. At least that's what I can tell from all the regulatories that I've seen, all the stuff I've been reading up on your website. But what I kind of wanted to kind of get a more of a breakdown for, if you can, is how does the actual profit sharing for the NFT holders, and how's that actually rewarded, or how's it accumulated, and how does that mix in with your guys' actual revenue model for people that earn by playing?
Yes, absolutely. So let me tell you a few things to answer your question, because I think you have said. First of all, we all know that the crypto market is our smallest and capital market out there. So, although
You're
some
you're
of
you're rugging out a little bit, buddy. Can you hear me? You're
uh,
rugging out a little bit. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah. I don't know if
just give
maybe
me one moment.
you're standing in a bad spot or something.
Like this, is it better now?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Manuel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Trying again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You hear me? You're loud and clear now. Uh-oh. Technical issue. Looks like he's going to reconnect now, guys. Just give us a moment. I don't know if it was bad for everybody else, but I could barely understand, and I want to know what his answer is. It's a really good project, and this is the meat and butter of the project, is understanding your entry point and how to earn, right? And there's actually a couple of unique things I was reading on there. While he connects, I'll kind of keep the flow going for everybody. They actually have fractional NFT holding. So let's say, you like the unique utilities, you like the aspect, but you're not fully sold on going full out and buying your whole NFT. You can actually buy a 1/10 of an NFT and get a fractional ownership of it, so you can see how the earning works, and then allow you to continually play the casino with your earnings, or just sit back and watch it, accumulate. And then in turn, with that profit sharing, if you wanted to grow, more, and buy your own NFT, you could. That's just a little something that I actually was reading on their website, and that I thought was pretty fascinating, that they're kind of bringing that unique touch to it. So it looks like he dropped out. He might have had connection issues, because he did get a little choppy a couple times, but it recovered pretty quick. So just give him a minute, guys, and we'll get him connected back in here. Oh, there you are. How you doing?
Thank you very much for having me back, and I hope my connection is better now.
It's way better, yeah. And you know what? While you were gone, I kept everybody going and gave them a little bit of information, because like I was telling you, I did a lot of research on your project, and your company already, and I was just telling them a little bit about if they're, how the profit sharing, if they want to get into it, and they like the utilities, they didn't have to dive in and get the whole NFT. They can go in and get that fractional NFT you guys have in there, and just kind of test the waters and see if this is something, that could work for you.
Absolutely.
And then that's when I might make the leap to buy the whole one. Yeah. So, but anyways, I didn't want to get too far off. I just didn't want it to be cold air for your AMA, just in case other people are going to listen later. So if you want to continue on breaking down how the NFT revenue sharing is, and maybe even a little bit more with the fractional that I might not have really been able to dive into, but before you got back.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you very much for the heads up. I think everybody in the community will enjoy it when they have full audio and not just some robot talking to you. So what I wanted to say is, I think you made some very valid points before. And although a lot of us, we think that we're in the space forever, we're basically the youngest and smallest capital market out there. And we have a lot of projects going through this market situation right now with the bear market, and they don't have that strong of a foundation, and they try to bring a business from Web 2 to Web 3 and crowd it with Web 3 people. And in the current market situation, the stream of investors sometimes is very limited. So I always like the approach when people actually understand that the Web3 space is pretty small, and that they need to pull traffic from somewhere else. And this is where the traditional business comes into place of the team and of the people involved. So I really enjoy that aspect, and I also enjoy another aspect when it comes to projects in the DeFi space and in the Web3 community. I wanna make money on it. That's why I'm here. Let's be real. Like a lot of people, a lot of projects, they tell you about their tech, they tell you about their incredible team, but after all, it's about making money. And this is something that the team clearly understood with the actions that they took. First of all, you have the possibility to buy an NFT and to be rewarded in a share of the net profits from the business. And then there is another model where you can buy yourself another share of the net profits with the token. And like you said before, there is another way you can participate within that whole ecosystem, which is highly attractive to people that just want to get their feet wet. They don't want to have the full commitment. They don't want to pay the asked price for the NFT. They can just team up with somebody else, and they hold a fraction of that NFT and get a fraction of that profit. So it's a very inclusive system that they thought of. Like, there is a room for bigger investors. There is a room for smaller investors. And there is a very fair structure when it comes to providing these revenue shares to the community. In fact, the project is giving out 80% of their net profit back to the community. And I think that's a kind of an impressive number. We all know that a casino is basically a very bulletproof business concept. As long as you have players in your casino, you will make money, because the house is always the edge over everybody else. And 80% of these profits go back to the community. Building on top of that idea that I just gave you of like providing a big amount of money back to the community, there is something that is also very critical and very important to each DeFi project. When I run my AMAs, one of my main questions to the project team is, how do you make money? How do you sustain the business long term? How do you get money to the investors? We explained the first question. So money is coming back to you either in the form of you holding an NFT, you buying yourself part of the revenue share with the token, or you holding a fractionalized NFT. So how is the project making money? There are also several streams of income. The first one I consider a very basic stream of income because it's not long term. The first one is minting the NFTs, selling the NFTs. That's very basic. You take money, you buy your NFT, the project gets money, project starts working. But with a real business involved, and the casino obviously is a real business, they had the opportunity to create a second revenue stream for the business. And this is a more long-term oriented and a more sustainable revenue stream, especially if you have a nice user base, which we definitely target to bring to the project. And 20% of these funds, 20% of the net profits will be used to grow this project furtherly, to implement utility after utility, to get updates for the casino platform, and just make it a nice place for you guys to be as investors. A monologue over.
No, that's very awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. It took a second for it to unmute. Technical issues all day, it seems like, on the X platform. But I definitely wanted to touch on a little bit what you said, because like I was saying, all transparency aside, a company, regardless of it, has to make money in order for the users to make money. And I definitely like how you guys have balanced the ecosystem a little bit more fairly to the user base, because all in all, if you don't have user base, you don't have a project. Your product doesn't have user base, you don't have a company. And so overall, you have to look at the aspect on how you're going to not only bring in new user base, but retain them. And I think that having two easily attainable entry to barrier, to the project, but easily, the barriers are, every real project should have some type of small barrier in order for you to come. And that's the initial, I would say, pay to come into the system. And in your turn, obviously, buying an NFT for the profit is one of those entries. But also, if you're not fixed on that, if you're not an NFT holder guy, if you're not looking at that as something you want, you can also just hold the token, like you were saying. You touched on a little bit, and you can generate profit. So I like how you just kind of let that kind of breathe into the air for everybody, because you have to realize, in order for the people to make money, the team has to make money, because the team is working, and you want them to continually work. I mean, nobody works for free in this world. That's just 100% how it is. So having that, thought out and showcased out to us, in a transparent way, I definitely appreciate it. A lot of people kind of hide around, the revenue stream. They kind of say, oh, you're going to make a bunch of profit, you're going to make a bunch of this, but in all actuality, you just never know. It's that risk play. But in casinos, and I will say, from my early days investing in a few casinos back in the real world, like you're saying, you're betting for the always win, almost like 99% of the time. Casinos are profitable as long as you have user base, and as long as you tie your utilities to reward the user base, the ecosystem is well balanced. So I definitely appreciate that. And to touch a little bit onto what you said about the token generation, I mean, the hold basically, the main token. How does that generate passive income? Is it just by holding and you get a percentage back to it? And then also, I had another little comment. Where's it in my head? That's what it was. I seen on your website that you give a little bit of free play. Is that for NFT holders or people that are holding tokens? Do they just get daily free play to be able to enjoy their time in the ecosystem?
Okay, so let's start with the token. First of all, the token is pretty unique because the token will be mined over time. This is actually already starting. So people that hold an NFT, they accumulate tokens over time. And if you hold your tokens, you also have many possibilities to work with them. I think one of the nicest things, it's just a small thing that makes sense in this particular ecosystem, but it shows that tokens can actually be used to do something. And this is swapping tokens into chips. So first of all, you can play the casino with your tokens, which is, I guess, rather obvious. Second of all, there is 40% of the rewards from the net profit going to NFT holders. And there is another 40% preserved for people that want to make their entry with the token. So you can also use your tokens to get a revenue share. Then we have another point that is rather interesting with that project. You don't see it that often. So the way I see most projects run is they have a seed investment round, they have a private round, they have a public round, they go to a launch pad, they launch the token. They have a lot of investors already in the bag and a lot of selling pressure that they need to catch on launch day. So a lot of projects, they have difficulties increasing their price after launch and giving you a long-term and sustainable investment. The project team behind CDAO wanted to prevent from this, and that's why they took the approach of giving the token to the community that is actually already believing in the project and not doing sales rounds over and over again with the token that result in big bags in investors. So you have a pretty fair situation of the hardcore believers, the first ones that got on board. They already accumulate rewards since September starting. And you have the newcomers that find the project in the initial marketing campaign and the initial push that the team will do, and they don't end up buying into something where there is basically already a lot of sales rounds before. They're buying into something where only the core community has tokens, and the whole concept is the whole fundraising concept is more based on the sale of NFTs and releasing these tokens slowly to the community. So you don't have anything that prevents you from long-term growth and from a sustainable token price.
I love that answer. That is definitely a look for what I would call sustainability at launch, right? The last thing you need is to have too many open tokens out there in the holders of people that are looking for, that profit. I mean, not everybody is. You're probably going to definitely have a lot of community members, but it definitely gets, what's the word? Tempting to sell on a 5 or 10x at launch. So definitely like how you guys thought about that. There's not so much out there, and it allows you guys to kind of control your initial launch to keep everything, I would say, in an upward step movement, right? Definitely like that. And is there a tax on the token?
There is no token tax involved to my knowledge right now. The information on the token will be given more and more to the community over the duration of the campaign. So, for example, if you check the white paper right now, there will be definitely additions in the token section to be made. So please always keep yourself up to date, because the team is very wise with providing information. I'm touching kind of on my last point. We talked about initial investors. You told me about people selling off their tokens pretty fast, and this is something that this team definitely took into consideration and wanted to find a fair way for everybody. So first of all, there is this situation between project team that needs to deliver, that needs to build utility, that needs to please their community. I consider community one of the greatest assets that each young startup has. In the crypto space, we're basically nothing. We can have the best idea. If nobody supports us, if nobody believes in us, we won't go far. And that's why they took the approach of releasing tokens slowly to the community, because if they do their homework and if they build a great project, then you will have a long-term sustainable stream of income that is coming to your side. And you don't have the risk of these huge funding rounds before. I just wanted to add on this. I'm sorry, Manuel, but
Oh, you're
I
good.
think it was
Don't
very
be
important.
sorry. The more information we get from you and about the project is better for us. You
Yeah,
can talk about the project as much as you want. Like it's definitely, especially comments back and forth like that, because like I like that a lot. Where it's not felt like the actual revenue or the user base or any part of the project was actually rushed. It was all thought out. Like you're telling me now, your entire platform is well built, organized real well. The website streamlines very nicely and it functions very good. You can just tell that the work that took into building this project is not lackluster. So when you talk about stuff like that and you comment about all the good features and what you guys are doing, that's stuff we want to know. I always ask that at the very end of our questioning, that I have, or comments that I have, if there's any last minute stuff that we miss, because a lot of times we miss like some of the more juicier stuff because they're not as pronounced in the white paper, but they're about to be released or just got announced. So I'm always looking for any type of comments you have or any type of extra information, because it's only going to build the case for my investors or community members to go check out your project, right? So
Let me
in the end, yeah, we want all the information we can about it. So, and
let
and touch on what you said too. One of my main questions I ask everybody in the crypto project is, what are you doing for the community? Like, because there's so much stuff that you could do, build a great project, build best product in the world. But like you're saying, if you don't have the people, the community wanting to jump in, utilize utilities, you guys are just going to slowly wither away, because in a casino, it's not just like a video game, but it's like a cult following. Like, there's people that literally just go and play certain games, and if you're offering that certain game, they'll go there every single day to earn and win, and then in turn helps the overall ecosystem. So how do you guys or what have you guys been doing in the Telegram or Discord or wherever you guys' main socials are to kind of keep that active engagement? And do you guys plan to have ambassador programs or referral programs to kind of keep the ever growing community, helping grow the ecosystem?
Absolutely. So let's split this in several sections. I want to start
Yeah.
with something I would say professional and more rare, because not every project is doing that. And this is the offline side of things. So, like initially mentioned, the team is currently at an offline event in Malaysia with a good colleague of mine. I have a lot of friends there, and one of them is with them. And they are building their network there, and they are getting the eyes of certain industry players, potential partners, other DAOs. They're connecting with these kind of people because they know that these kind of people are very valuable when it comes to support their own community growth, when it comes to support the legitimacy of the project in the space. You all know, if you have a big name on your website, a big partnership, a lot of people are familiar and they socialize easier with your project because they take the values of that partner and they reflect it on your project. And this is something very smart to implement in each initial marketing campaign. You always want to have your partnership set, because as soon as you start to create traffic like we do it today with the AMA, I want to have people landing on my website, seeing these logos, seeing my press releases, seeing all the things that I do in, let's call it, the real world. On top of that, you have to lay the foundation when it comes to the Web3 community. So we understand that there are two sides of the picture. First of all, offline environment. Second of all, the online environment. So what are we doing in terms of the online environment to get community members up and to entertain these people? First of all, the team mapped out all the necessary social media channels. So from Discord over Telegram to Instagram to Twitter, you have everything that suits your needs. If you're a Twitter guy, give the project a like on Twitter. If you want to socialize in the Discord, feel free to join us and have some fun with the team there. Second of all, we're doing these AMAs. We're creating outreach in the crypto space over key opinion leaders, influencers, but also we promote the project on scene sites, on community sites that are high valuable traffic. Let's say, for example, everybody knows Etherscan, everybody knows BSC Scan. If you target your audience there, you will most likely find an audience that is interested in crypto, because this is a very niche site and only hardcore crypto people go there. So the traffic that you create over these banners is very valuable. We scheduled a whole campaign for the project. This is also part of my job. I'm supporting the incubator and accelerator working with the project. And within that campaign, we always have different kind of sections. We have that key opinion leaders, influencer section that we all know and we all love. Everybody likes to see a project out there promoting with big influencers, with organic communities, and just making people excited. But this is just one piece. This is something that a lot of projects do. Basically, it's your bread and butter. On top of that, you want to build a layer of more sustainable long-term traffic that you can keep up with over a longer duration of time. I'm speaking about banner ads. I'm speaking about, let's say, YouTube videos, content that stays on the platform, that you have the chance that the user goes by a second time, he sees the content again, and then he makes the decision of being a community member or being an investor, being a supporter of the project. And the last portion that comes into place is where you round everything up. So you, first of all, approached industry leaders, offline people, high network individuals, things like that. Second of all, you onboard the online community, you get them on your social medias, you entertain them with constantly pumping out news, pumping out roadmap points and key achievements that you make. By the way, the website will get an update, so it will be even prettier in November. And then I would say, like a very, very big point comes into play, and this is community management, and this is working together with your community, making it a strong community, rewarding people that participate actively within your community. We're talking about things like getting free credits if you're an NFT holder, if you're a token holder to play in the casino. We're talking about community activities like, for example, an art competition where you can produce CDAO content to post on social media. And if you win the competition, you get rewarded with a token bag, maybe with some free chips or even with stables. It always depends on the approach that the team takes. Things like buying competition, thread competitions on Twitter, small airdrop events like we run it from time to time. There is definitely a lot of knowledge behind this project when it comes to marketing and community management, because they did their homework and they approached somebody that is very good in promoting projects early on and leading them into the market, but also sustaining them long term. And this is also something that I would take into consideration from an investor perspective. We're talking about CDAO for around 30 minutes now. And something that I really want to stress in the presentation is how much thought and how much long-term vision that the core team behind the project put it into it. There are a lot of projects out there. They rush their initial campaign, they rush their funding, and they are very overwhelmed when they enter the market. With CDAO, it's a completely different way. You have individuals that have the knowledge from an offline environment and from a real business standpoint. You have people that know that they don't need to do everything themselves. They can also outsource to reputable partners and go the way together with them, and can focus more on the things that actually matter and the things that they need to fulfill within their position. I hope you
Yeah,
didn't lose.
no,
The
no,
monologue was too long.
no, you're fine. I was actually, I'm always like a step ahead of what I want to ask next, or like if I have a comment, or like I'm always typing something down in between. So then I got to hurry up and click back and unmute because like I hate missing any great part of a project. And I actually have one little side question. And obviously if it's not ready, you don't have to spill the beans or any of the alpha on it, or if if it's still being worked out, obviously, I'm not going to fret about it. But obviously, it's in the name, it's DAO, and everybody knows what a DAO is for the most part, or have experienced a DAO in the space at one point. But I always have a couple critical questions when it comes to a DAO, and that is, how are you guys protecting against whale manipulation? Is it going to be, for every token you have a vote, or is it just a certain weight and then you have that much vote and it doesn't matter how many tokens you have, everybody has a voice? I just get, if you have a little bit of information that you could break that down a little bit on it, would be awesome. If not, it's totally fine, because I know some DAOs come out a little bit after the project, the token, and all that is built, because you need to build your entire ecosystem and make sure you scale to a point where the DAOs going to be beneficial. Because if you just rush a DAO and there's not enough people to handle the DAO, then you're at a point where you're at the mercy of your user base.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you very much for that question. I kind of expected it. Since the name is Casino DAO, it definitely makes sense to talk about casino and DAO. And this was also something that I thought going into the pre-discussion with the team. So it was one of my first questions. How does the government aspect of the project work? Do I need to hold token? Do I need to stake? Do I need to own an NFT? And will you implement that DAO aspect immediately to the project? I know exactly what you're talking of. If people rush their DAO implementation and they don't have that active core community, it can happen that a small amount of people has a pretty big power over the project, and you never want to have that. So the first way to deal with that is that the project team, they made clear from the start there will be a DAO integration, but it will definitely not be straight from the start of the project. Right now they're building, right now they're getting everything ready, and as good as a DAO is, sometimes it makes decision making a lot slower than it could be. And that's why they want to take care of it initially themselves. And later on, the user will have the possibility to participate within the government's aspect with their NFTs. So it's not about buying a huge bag and having 100 voting rights then. It's about getting your NFT, being a member, being a user, and having that government's um, part of the project on top of it. See it as a benefit. Don't see it as the core thing. See it as a benefit. You're an NFT holder. You can also vote in which direction the project will navigate. Obviously, there could be people that buy a lot of NFTs, but I have to tell you, they're rather limited. Right now, you can't even get your hands on it. The next mint is coming up. And so we hope, or the project team hopes, that there is a very nice distribution of these NFTs. Keep the number of participants early on small, and maybe long term open up possibilities to also be part of the government's aspect. But this is something that you need to determine when you're already in the market and when you see your NFT economics. If there is a real market behind these NFTs, if they are very valuable, then you won't run into the issue of having people having too many bags. If the price is high, you will always find somebody that wants to sell the investment, and the distribution will get better. And this is what we're looking at. Like, the team is definitely not here to play around. They want to grow that project fast and efficient and long term, and making a real business. Manuel, I definitely see your point, but I hope that we don't run that issue.
You know what? And every time I ask you a question, man, like your answers and what the team have told you, and you guys have been working on in the background to handle like any of these type of situations that could occur, it's freaking impressive. I will tell you that because like even with your answers there alone, that actually was better than I anticipated because obviously you want to have a robust core DAO, but you don't want it to be saturated to where it's a bunch of people that don't really care about the technical aspects of the growth of the team or the project per se. So you kind of like gave the NFT holders, the stakeholders per se, your people that want the growth of the long term of the project, an extra added benefit, saying, we thank you for buying an NFT. You've been with us for a long time. Now we have a DAO. This is going to give you a bigger voice to the project. It's going to allow you to have your decisions heard, and and in turn could be very beneficial for both sides, because what it does is it helps keep your core active and growing with the project that they're earning with. So I love it. Now I do have a few hands raised up, and I do have a couple of comment questions that I want to answer, but before we do jump into any of the community questions or anything, do you have any last call to action, any information that we might have missed, or something that you believe is something that the community needs to know that we hadn't touched on before we did move on to any of the community questions?
Thank you very much, Manuel. And also thank you very much for your questions. It was already pretty exciting and very nice to talk to you. And I hope we can repeat that in the future and I can give you some updates when the guys are further in their roadmap. I just want to sum it up.
One hold on, I want to pause on that 100%. And you guys, if you guys do, I always say if a project that's great for its community, we will support the project because that's what we're about here is supporting communities and projects that are doing well and building well and doing what they can, especially in the bear market, building the bears, right? So I do appreciate that, and yeah, we'll definitely be here to always support and help out any projects or base teams that are out there building.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I'm in the space to create win-win-win situations between projects, between launches, between myself, and between investors. And it sounds like CDAO is going in that direction. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you guys. And like I said before, it was a very enjoyable session. I'm looking forward to answer some questions. I hope I can do it in the manner that the core team will be proud on. And I just want to say everybody that listened to my little question answering process here, thank you very much for your time. Time is the most valuable good in the space that we have. And it makes me proud that you shared some time with us today discussing CDAO. With CDAO, you have a team that gives it 100%. They are out there in the real world promoting their vision. They have their businesses in place. I told you already that they're demographically located in the Asian region. They work heavily in the Asian market, and they also teamed up with an Asian incubator and accelerator to make their journey into the market as enjoyable and as successful as possible. You guys get rewarded with 80% of the net profits of the project. You have the possibility to involve yourself in the governance. There are several token utilities planned as well. So there will be an exchange, there will be staking, there will be some things for you guys to play around. There is the foundation with the social medias. So I would be happy to welcome each and everybody of you on one of the social media channels. Let's get into a discussion. There are also critical questions allowed. So if you have anything that you want to ask the core team directly, use your chance, hop on Discord, hop on Telegram and ask them in person, and you will get the answer that you deserve. On top of that, there are exciting points coming up. We have a packed roadmap that the project team is working on constantly. So keep yourself updated on the process. There is an NFT mint coming up. There is a new website release coming up. There is a lot of content that will flow into the white paper. So there is definitely some room to educate yourself and to see if CDAO is a good fit for your portfolio. Like always, this was not financial advice, and we do this for information and entertainment purposes. And always do your own research before you make any investment decisions. But I think we have a very solid foundation with that project, and I'm looking forward to see these guys build it and drive it in the crypto space.
No, 100% I do agree. It's not financial advice, but if you do your research, join the socials, you like what you see, participate. This is a unique aspect to the crypto blockchain and the real world casino being combined. And but not just being combined because we've seen people try it, but also doing it to where the investors are rewarded for their contribution and not just, oh, we're giving you 10%, 20% of the fees. They're giving you 80% of the profit, which in turn they have belief that you earning a lot is going to in turn help scale and grow and earn for them. So that shows that they have faith in their community. They have strong beliefs in their revenue model and their business model overall. So with that saying, let's jump into a couple questions because I already read one that I forgot to ask. It's just a basic question. So it's just from the comments, and this is from Jeffrey 5 or FX5. It said, in regards to the casino, what forms of games are you guys gonna have? Are you guys gonna have like the traditional games, that every casino has, or like I totally didn't even think about it because I don't know what regulations or what stop you guys from, if any stop from having certain games on there. So I was gonna let you answer that right there.
So we all know that the casino market, even in Web3, is already a niche that is highly competitive. What do you need to sustain yourself against competition? First of all, you need at least to provide what they do. You can't set yourself ahead if you not even provide to the market what they do. So first of all, the team will integrate all the basic casino stuff like slots, live gaming. I'm not that big of a casino person myself, but this is the information that they gave me. It will be a very competitive online casino. This is the casino side, and we have the crypto side on top. So it gets more than a casino. It gets your place to go to stake your token. It gets your place to go to be a community member and make decisions. It gets your place to go to swap your tokens in the in-house exchange, and it gets your place to be rewarded with free games. If you're a holder, if you're an NFT holder, you get free games from time to time. You can test your luck in the casino. You don't even need to be a gambler. Like even I would do it. Like if I get some free chips, I don't know how it's called. Sweet Bonanza, I think, is one slot game I know. I would go to Sweet Bonanza, invest my chips there, and test my luck. I didn't lose any money. I'm more an investor, and this is also something that is very important for me in that project. You can see it from different kind of perspectives. You can be a hardcore investor that just wants to park their money in a business. You can be a gambler that just wants to go somewhere new to test some games. And you can be a mix of both. You can invest your money, you get some chips now and then, you play the casino, maybe you want to swap some tokens for chips. You can do that as well, and you accumulate more tokens with your NFT. I hope that answers the question. Basic casino, basic online casino, like everybody else does it, and crypto part on top of it, which makes it special and which makes it your home.
That sound perfect. So like basically you're going to have all the same things offered at a traditional casino, and that's awesome because a traditional casino has like thousands of slots, a bunch of poker tables and stuff. So that's awesome. And me, I play slots when I go to you know when I go with my wife or some friends out today. But I'm a poker guy. When I'm ever at a casino by myself, I sit down at the hold'em table and I'll sit there for freaking 13 hours playing hold'em. I love it. So I like your guys' platform and that you guys have everything to it. So that should have answered the question. Thank you very much, Jeffrey, for that question. I got another one from it looks like it's Fabio, and it says, "Will the Casino DAO be available in all countries, and how do the regulations at all have hindered you guys, or being kind of already in the field, you guys already know how to navigate the regulatory things, because I know the United States, they have an issue with the blockchain, but they love casinos here. That's where I'm at here in the United States. We love casinos. We got them all over. But when it comes to blockchain, it's being so heavily regulated. I don't know how the difference in being the casino and a blockchain being kind of the mix. I don't know if maybe there were some challenges you spoke with the team about.
Yes, I spoke obviously with the team about it because in each of my shows that I do myself, the point security is very important. And the point security for me is more than just doing KYC or an audit for your smart contracts. For me, it's also about showing that you want to be a real business and not just a degen token. And I told you initially that they have the expertise in the offline world. They know how it works. So it was a major point for them also to look into registration when it comes to the blockchain world. And they are currently working on the how is it called? I'm sorry. I'm not native to speaking English, so sometimes my English fails. On the registration, they want to register the business somewhere, so they have an official casino license. So also from a registration purpose, there are no issues. They're currently evaluating the demographic regions where they want to register, because like you just mentioned, it comes with a lot of aspects to take into consideration, and that's also why they didn't make any decision yet, because they might require several licenses. The US is one problem, but we also have problems here in Europe regarding with gambling. So you always want to be careful when it comes to this. I don't want to give any legal advice to anybody in here because I'm definitely not a lawyer. But with the professionalism that the team showed up till now, I'm very confident that they will just tick another roadmap point, have the business registered, and then we'll also provide information to the community which parts of the project the user can access from which region of the world. This is a small downside that every online casino is facing. This is nothing that is in particular connected to Casino DAO. Every user should understand that they need to do their own research when it comes to registrations, when it comes to the legal part of online casinos. I can just tell you that it is being worked on, and that you as the future community, that you as the believers in the project, you will know first as soon as this process is done, and they will provide you with all the info that you will need on it.
You know, and it's funny that I want to touch a little bit on that question because regulatory is a double-edged sword, right? In one country, it's like you deal with these hurdles. You're like, oh, I knocked all that out. That's no problem. Go to another major country, and it's a bunch of different hurdles, all the different paperwork. Don't make any sense. And then in the end, you're just like, it's a hassle, but I got to do it, right? Because in the end, having global touch is the whole point of the blockchain. And then I think that over time, blockchain being the standard globally will hopefully have a regulatory oversight that goes across the board for the world. That's how I look at it. You know, there shouldn't be borders when it comes to your financial freedom or your financial access. And in my eyes, period, instant access to financial needs and or having fun on the blockchain should be a priority for the countries. And in my eyes, it's the innovation that is being hindered in a lot of countries. I do love what Europe is doing. I love what Sweden's doing. I love what all of them are doing over there. But like then in turn, you're having to deal with the casino side of it. So like I say, it's a double-edged sword when it comes to regulations. Uh, it is great. It is great to know that the team has definitely doing their due diligence, checking it out, making sure that, you know, regardless of whatever hurdles they have, they're able to overcome. So I'm going to get on to a live question here, and I'm just going to say this right now. I can't really pronounce their actual name, but their tag name is BM. It's Ummi Abdullah, I believe is the name. But they've been supporting the whole time, first hand to go up. They've been emojing the whole time. They actually had a good question in the comments. So I'm just going to bring them up live and see if they give us a good question live. So go ahead, BM. I just approved you. Hopefully it works. Sometimes I'll press it like 12 times and it won't even work. There it goes. I heard it make the noise.
Hello, guys.
So
am I
BM,
audible?
go ahead with your question when you're. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We talk about security. The user security. Uh, I want to know, like, in let's say in digital space, security is very important. It's a very serious issue. And then I want you to talk more about your security scalability and the probability which bring competitive advantage to your projects. And so how does your project will solve those security issues?
Okay, so when it comes to security, there are two sides to look at. First of all, outside pressure. So somebody from outside of the project wants to harm the project. And then there is inside pressure. This is something that disappointed investors experienced in a lot of crypto projects. This is when the project team doesn't have the right intentions to go further. I think the first point we can basically say that they take great care of it. Every smart contract that they are about to release or they have released will get an audit. So there will at least an auditing company look into it. We all know, like we're core individuals of the DeFi core community, we all know that an audit doesn't prevent you from anything, but it's a step in the right direction. And constantly doing audits, going from one firm to the next one, it will definitely increase your security. Something that I mentioned to them because it's something that I highly like and that I think makes our community better is to do a bug bounty. So as soon as everything is live and they have a minting page, they have everything you need to use the ecosystem, I recommend it to them to do a bug bounty hunt for white hackers. If you're not familiar with the concept, there are black hat hackers out there, and there are white hat hackers out there. The white ones, they want to do good, but they still want to be rewarded for the work that they put into checking your security. And the black ones, they steal your funds. And that's why I like to attract these white hat hackers with a bug bounty campaign. So they test your project to the detail, and they try to find a way into it. And if they find a way, then they get a reward, and the team can take care of the security section, of the security concern. And then there is the second side, where project teams, they don't put in the work that they initially promised. And on this front, I just want to remind you on what I said before. The team is giving 80% of their profits to you guys. So they open up the possibilities for you guys to involve yourself in the project and to vote for the future of the project. They try everything to give back to their community and make them a team member, in essentially. I said it before, community is your biggest asset. You can have all the money you want. If you don't have community, if you don't find people to build this cult-like following around your brand, you're alone. You won't go anywhere. And with the decisions that they made in terms of security, I think they built as well a nice foundation to welcome people, to implement them into their community, to have them stick around for a long term and support each other, work into each other's hands, and make money with each other.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. I don't know if I can have another chance to ask another question. I don't know.
If it's real quick, we got about 5-10 minutes, and I want to get at least 2 more questions. So if you're real quick about it.
All right. Well, what I want to know is what are your major and minor accomplishments so far? That is what plan do you have for the project in the next, let's say, 5 years or thereabout?
Okay, so first of all, major achievement is building a team. It's very hard in the DeFi space to get your hands on qualified individuals that want to build a real business and not just make money quick. This is the first achievement. Second of all, getting a brand out there, producing all the content that you need so you're ready to go and that you're ready to approach investors. Building something that people like to look at is a major achievement. That our community is already earning rewards since September, in my eyes, is a major achievement. Being on offline events and promoting the project in a very professional atmosphere is another major step to where we need to go. And I think there are a lot of investor involved major steps coming up. So we have that rollout campaign. You will see a lot of things that the incubator and accelerator takes care of. Community activities, the release of their own decentralized exchange. So you don't need to go anywhere else where you can just do everything in-house. And in terms of a 5-year prediction, like 5 years ago, it was 6 years ago, I joined the space, and it feels like ages. So 5 years is an incredible long time in the Web3 community. But I don't think that the business concept of a casino will change within the next 5 years. It did not hugely change over the last 100 years. So I don't predict any changes in the next 5 years. And I think it will stay one of the top business concepts when it comes to revenue that you can have. And at the same time, I'm a big believer in the Web3. And I think that we are still very early, everybody. So these two factors combined gives me my outlook for the future. If everything goes right, if the community, same as the project team, sticks to their promises, supports each other, builds with each other, I could see this going up the ranks in the online casino Web3 related world. Will we end up at position 1? I don't know. Sometimes being the runner-up is a big benefit to you, and you can learn from the industry leaders. It would definitely be nice to be on top there, but I think that the whole journey should be an enjoyable process and not just the end result.
All right, so thank you so much for that answer. You keep building, we keep following. Let's fucking go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
All right. Thank you for that question. Snake, go ahead with your question. You are up right now. You've been unmuted.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and
Loud and
clear.
clear.
Yeah, so my question was about AI. Like, are there any plans for implementing AI in the future for your games and other utilities?
Okay, so we all know that AI is a huge market right now, and it's something that will make our life very different over the next few years. I can't give you a concrete answer regarding it because I did not ask the project team regarding AI if they want to implement something. I yeah, I'm very sorry. I can't give you a concrete answer on it. I'm myself a big believer in AI technology, and I think that there will be great stuff coming. But if it is that significant in the casino cosmos, I'm sorry. I have to leave that answer open, but I invite you to join one of our social medias and ask the question there, and you will definitely get the answer that you deserve.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for answering.
Thank you for the question. And I definitely like that answer too. You don't want to tell somebody a lie just because you want to make them happy. But AI is a huge part. But if it don't mix with your project or your company, there's no sense in implementing it. All right, Bambi, let's get you up as the last question. I love your name, Bambi. I love the project Bambi, and I love the movie because I have 4 kids and I've seen the movie too many times to speak about. So go ahead with your question whenever you're ready.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but there's a lot of background noise. Could you possibly go in the other
Okay,
room and
okay,
ask the
okay,
question?
okay. So my question is like, so recently I see quite a lot of like hacking or something like that in the crypto space. So I want to know how confident you want to say about your Casino DAO security and uh, security and and stuff like that at the current market right now. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you
I,
very
I
much.
was funny. It was funny. I was about to jump in and say, I think we just answered that like a couple questions ago. But if you want to touch up on it a little bit, he might have missed the answer on it. But I loved your answer. Yeah. So if you want to just touch a little bit on how you guys implemented your security, it'd be perfect.
Absolutely. So I mentioned before, I think you might have missed that we or the project team is taking care of the security in a very professional manner. We all know that the audit doesn't prevent you from anything, but still it shows that you take care of that aspect of your project and that you're willing to put in, first of all, the time, but second of all, the money into making it as secure as possible, because this is all connected to costs. A project that doesn't care about their community, this is the first part where they will cut costs and they will save on your neck. So this is definitely not happening. And another security related point that I made earlier is having these bug bounty hunts where people try to get into your system, they try to mess with your contracts, and if they manage to, and if they find a security hole, then they tell you about it, they get a reward for it, you can fix it. It's a win-win situation for everybody and a nice addition to security efforts.
Okay, okay, fair enough. To be honest, with you, I didn't attend the AMA from the start. I did it from in the middle of the AMA, so I didn't quite catch about the security stuff like that. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Nonetheless, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me, and I hope I can welcome you in the community later on.
Yes, please join the community, ask questions. I'm telling you, like, there's no dumb question asked, right? Anybody that asks a question is great because in turn it shows that you're interested in the project. And any dev, any real core member that loves what they're building, they're going to want to spend as much time talking to you about the project because they want you to be a part of what they're building. This is not just building a company to make money also, but this is also these devs' creation. It's art being made in a software form online that they want to see grow to be a beautiful flower in the blockchain, right? So definitely love the question. I love the answers. Today was actually an extremely awesome AMA. I had a lot of fun talking with you. I had a lot of fun touching on the casino because I'm a casino fanatic as it is. But I also like, because I didn't touch on many of the casinos on the blockchain because of just like you're saying, if it don't look right, don't smell right, it probably ain't right. And so far, everything you've presented has been on point, very transparent, very open, extremely smart revenue model, and the utilities. I love the way that they've really, their business plan is ironed out with professionals. Like, I really can't say much more. So I'm very interested in it. I hope my community members are, and anybody else that sees it after this AMA or listens to it, I hope they join the social, start asking questions. But as we wrap up the session, it's clear that we're on the cusp of something truly revolutionary. The concept of owning a stake in a Web3 casino through NFTs is not only innovative, but promises a new era of passive income. No longer how you have to hold and pray that you're going up, because the NFT is rewarding you regardless of your token allocation. So I love that. So join their community, explore the offering, start the journey with Casino DAO. Thank you, Casino DAO, for sharing your incredible project with us. Wishing you all the happy gambling and a profitable endeavor, because in the end, that's where we're at. Everybody that puts a token in, they want to hope they hit the jackpot on that spin. So good luck with everything. And if you have any last minute call to action you would like to say, or any last moment or last comments to our community for them to do, this is your moment right here.
Thank you very much, Manuel. And it was great to speak to you. I enjoyed it a lot. For me, it's been quite the time since I changed the shoes from a host to a representative again. And it feels good to be on the other side and to provide information to the community. You have a beautiful community here. And I just want to say thank you to all the listeners, all the team that also joined from your side and was part of today's show. Like I said before, I would be happy to come back and give you an updates in some weeks, some months when the next milestone is achieved. And in the meantime, I just want to say thank you. I think we're all early. Make the DeFi space a better place by the day. Support your friends, support the projects that you love and the founders that work hard. Leave the rest behind and let's move together in a very enjoyable future of Web3. Thank you very much for having me, and we see each other around. You will have the possibility to hear me speak for Casino DAO again. So if you want to be in the loop, join our socials and be part of the fun. Thank you very much. This was Phil for today, just another DGen, and thank you so much for the Crypto Miners AMA today.
I thank you, and I appreciate it, Phil. You have a great day, and I'm really good luck to everything, and I'm really thinking you guys are going to do really well. You guys set yourself up to win, and you're at a point where you guys have been building for a while in the bear, and it doesn't seem like you guys are stopping. I'm looking forward to the November update to the website, because like I was saying, your website already looks really clean. So I can't wait to see what you guys have thought up and the design implementation when it launches. So thank you again, and take care, buddy.
Thank you, and bye-bye, everybody.